To change the settings on your blog is in here under the settings tab, column, whatever it's called. And each one of these, go through, look at them, and make changes. Don't change this or this. Everything should be set up correctly as you go through it. But you can go through each field and make changes on what you think it needs to be changed to, like in the, if I go back to the general tab here, my time zone is Arizona. Whoops. And you can go through and find out what time zone you're in. There we go. I just type in Phoenix because I'm actually in Phoenix, so it'll adjust everything to the proper time zone as opposed to off of the main one. Let's see here. Okay. Go to the writing tab, and this shows you the different writing options you have. I always change the size of the post box to about 21 lines, just because it'll give you a bigger post box to work with. And it's not changing for me, but that's okay, not important. In the reading tab, and I'll go through these more a little bit down the road, but this just says how many posts are going to be showing on each page. You can change it so that way there's only 6 posts that show on each blog page. There's a feed, which I go into later also. You can change that to how many show in the feed if you want a full text summary. With the Headway theme, you don't need to make adjustments here because you can make your home page a static page. But with other themes, if you want to make it look more like a traditional type of website, you can create a page, call it home if you want to, change your front page to that page name, and what it'll do is anytime somebody visits your main website, it'll show that as your home page if you want to do that. There's a discussion tab, which since this is a blog, there are people are allowed to make comments, but you can turn these off in here if you want to so that nobody can comment onto it. There's a media tab which goes through and adjusts what size the different, every time you upload an image into your as you're creating a post or a page on here, it will create the different thumbnail sizes. There's a privacy tab. This one's very important actually, because you want your blog to be visible by everyone, including search engines, Google, etc., blah, 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 and you don't want to block it. So once you actually get your site active and rolling, you want your blog to be visible by everyone. If you want, you can leave it blocked, but just remember to go back and change that in the future. So I want everybody to see this. Permalink structure. This is very important for search engine purposes. Right now, if you go to a page, as you see here, it says az-homeinsurance.net /?P=1. That means it's the first page. I want to change it to a custom structure, and there's 2 types you can use. I use the post ID and %% post name. N%. That's the structure that I like to use with most of mine. The other option that I have used with other ones is category. And if you click here and a number of tags are available, it opens up this web page over here. And you can choose the different structure that you want. And this is the other structure that I use, is the category post name. And what that means, and I'll show you the difference between the two here, is with the post ID post name, I'll hit save there. And what this does is watch what happens right here when I hit the refresh button. See, it changes to the post ID, which is 1 / and then the title of the post, which is Hello World. If I change it to category, either one of these two are your search engine friendlier ways to do it. Is you want to, and then when I hit refresh here, it'll change this 1 to the category that this post is in, which is uncategorized, um, and then the title of the post. Either way, you can do it whichever way you want. Just remember, if you have long category names, your URL up here for individual posts will become very long. And also, if you have long titles, this can become a very long word, which is why I like to use the post ID. Actually, I like to use it for 2 reasons, because if I want to, I can use this as a short URL also. Type in post 1 if I know the ID number, and it'll say this post. Got it? So those are your options with that. And then there is a miscellaneous tab, which you can change what folder your uploaded files go into. I don't recommend doing that. If you want your files organized into, these are your pictures and stuff like that, organized into month and year based folders, you can do that. I personally don't like that because it makes it more difficult for me to find images if I want to use them more than once, or PDF files, those types of things that are uploaded. So I always uncheck that and save the changes. And then down below will be the settings for the plugin. So I have the spam-free plugin, and the more plugins you add, the more options you'll get to add on there. And some of the plugins will actually show up here in your tools, inside your plugins, or in the appearance area also, and sometimes up here in the dashboard, depending upon what plugin it is. So there's some quick overview of the settings area. I'm going to, below this will be in text so you can see what to do and what the settings are that I recommend you use. And in the next one I'll go through real quickly posts and creating posts and pages.